So today I want to tell you about my earliest memory. My earliest memory is from when I was 2.5 to 3 years old, and it's actually pretty significant. I remember it in intense detail, and it actually explains a lot about me as a person. Now, when I was 2.5 to 3 years old, I went with my mother to a doctor's appointment. And while we were in the waiting room lobby, waiting to be called back, I noticed a painting that had been hung on the wall behind the seating area. I was fascinated by this painting. It was of a old sail ship. The sailing ship, it was obviously on some very, very stormy ocean water. The waves were just leaping and foaming, and the clouds behind were just dense and dark. You could see rain in the wind. The sails were full, and there was so much life and motion at play in this painting. And I remember feeling incredibly drawn to it. I climbed up on the chair and stood up, and when I reached up, tiny little me, I was able to touch the bottom corner of this painting, and I realized that it was not smooth like a photograph. As I tilted my head and looked at it at an angle, I could see the lobby lights, the fluorescent light bulbs, reflecting in some of the shinier areas of this painting, the grooves of this painting, and where those waves were tossing and the foam was frothing and the clouds were rolling. All this activity in this painting was reflected at this angle as just this glittering chaos. I could see the lines, the grooves left there by the bristles of the paintbrush. I could see the lumps and the piling of color that had taken place on this canvas. I could almost smell the oil and the turpentine and the things that had gone into this work of art. There was a dimension to it that I had never seen before. As a little kid, of course, that I had played with paints before, but they were little watercolor kits, things you paint on paper and it's flat and smooth. I had never seen paint look so solid and have such shape to it before. I also noticed that when I got close, I could see where more than one color had been on the brush. In these stormy gray-blue waves, I could see traces of yellow swirled in, left like little tiny hints by the bristles of the brush. When you got far away from it, you couldn't see those details, but when you got close and really examined it, you could see threads in the fabric of this painting, these bits, these clues about how these colors were achieved, about how this image was created. And I was so fascinated. And when I asked my mom why this picture was bumpy, my mom, fussed at me. She said, sit down, don't touch the painting, that's not nice. And she, turn away, and she told me, it's bumpy because it's a painting. And this made no sense. Like I said, paintings to me were watercolors, like little kid things. They didn't exist in this way. And I said, Mommy, how did somebody paint that? And Mom said, well, artists work very, very hard to learn how to do this. It takes a lot of practice. And I remember thinking, if practicing and work would result in the creation of something like that, it would be worth every bit of effort. When we were called back by the doctor for Mom's appointment, the doctor had a little happy small talk with me like doctors do with a small child, and one of the questions he asked me was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be an artist. And he said, wow, good for you. Maybe someday you will be. And as we left the doctor's office, I took one last look at that painting. Every time somebody asks me, every single time somebody asks me what art means to me, I think about that painting. I think about the wonder that I felt that something so beautiful and so real and so full of motion and life and color was created through such chaos, through such glittering streaks and piles of color and material. I think about how somebody took something flat and gave it life, that somebody was able to bring into existence this magic. And it's what I aspire to do. It's what I am inspired by. I really, really wish I knew who painted that picture. It had to have been a local artist. Somebody in Hawaii during the 80s. Somebody that's probably not well known. But that person inspired a lifetime, a lifelong love affair for me with art. So to whoever it was that painted that sailing ship, thank you. I can only hope that someday my artwork will move somebody the way yours moved me. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to hear more story times from me, I post a new one every single Sunday, so don't forget to subscribe. I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go now. Bye.